straight away we obviously have to say prayers up to Giannis. I don't think any Hawks fan would disagree with that. You saw the reaction the fans had in the arena. Pretty sure that was the reaction of every single fan watching, regardless of what team you go for, because he is arguably the most likable player in the NBA. Not to mention he's a superstar, back-to-back MVP, but just in general, as a person, he's funny. He's just one of the most likable guys. So I don't think anyone wants to see Giannis get injured. I don't think anyone wants to see anyone get injured. But Giannis in particular, after he's having such an unbelievable playoff run, which has kind of been thrown to the side. It's like, oh, Giannis is just doing this. It's like, oh, it's Giannis. He doesn't get enough credit for what he does. So shout out to Giannis. Hopefully he gets back healthy, because this is a series, healthy or not. This is a series, healthy or not. And we got to talk about that, because again, praise up to Giannis, but we still got to talk about the game. And the amount of people I've seen, oh, injuries, there's an asterisk, oh my god, the Hawks are only getting through because they're healthy, oh my god, wrap up the series, throw it away, asterisk, everything you want to hear. Just say you haven't watched a single game of Atlanta basketball. Just say you don't know what this team is. Just say it. Just say it. It saves you time, because, oh, Atlanta haven't had injuries? Atlanta haven't had injuries. So in the first round, I guess Cam Reddish wasn't out. Was someone else out? I don't even remember. Second round against Philadelphia. Second round against Philadelphia. The higher fancy team was DeAndre Hunter hurt? Their best perimeter defender. Someone who clamped up your, third MVP or whatever media members were putting him. Julius Randle. Was DeAndre Hunter out? Do you even know who DeAndre Hunter is? Because I'm afraid no one even knows this Atlanta Hawks team. And then this round, Trae Young just got hurt. Bogdanovic has been limping around. He's finally getting back healthy. DeAndre Hunter is out. And they finally got back Cam Reddish. So to say the Atlanta Hawks, oh, they're just getting through because they're healthy? You haven't seen a single game. You don't even know their roster if you're saying that. You're literally outing yourself as an idiot. Straight up. You're just outing yourself as an absolute moron. And I've seen people with platforms do it. People who talk about this stuff for a living, which is kind of scary, but that's the reality of things. So people are saying the Atlanta Hawks are getting through because they're healthy. Okay. And so let's just talk about this game. Because again, before Giannis got hurt, the Hawks were up by 10 points. The Hawks were playing elite defense. The Hawks were playing decent offense against a fully healthy team, apart from DiVincenzo. We'll mention everyone who's not playing, because I actually know the players, unlike some people who still do this, but we'll mention people who aren't playing. DiVincenzo is out. The Hawks were without DeAndre Hunter and without Trae Young. And people are going to use this. A lot of people who said the Hawks had absolutely no chance. Oh, this isn't going to be fun. Oh, this isn't going to be enjoyable. The series is over. Everything, this. And I was going to tweet it. I didn't end up tweeting, but I was like, the Hawks have been in this position before. Not without Trae. Actually, they have. They beat the Milwaukee Bucks without Trae Young earlier in the season, when Bogdanovic dropped 32 points and Lou Will had a good game as well. Yeah. They beat them earlier in the season. That was against a fully healthy Milwaukee Bucks team. So they did that. And then this game, they were leading by 10. They were the better team. The only reason they were only up by 10 was because of offensive rebounding, which they still need to fix, because that is the major issue that is holding this team back from... They should be up 3-1. They should have won last game. The offensive rebounding killed them. Chris Middleton, Bogdanovic, there was a few things that led to that, but they should be up 3-1. That is against a fully healthy Milwaukee team. They were up by 10 points before Giannis got injured. Did they pile it on once Giannis got injured? Could the Bucks have come back before Giannis got injured? Of course. Of course. The game ebbs and flows, and we knew the Bucks were going to have another run. Whether they would have won or not, I don't know. We can't tell for that, but all I can say is, without Trae Young, without DeAndre Hunter, Bogdanovic, who had been struggling with a knee injury, he finally looked healthy again, all of those things, and they were leading the Bucks. So don't just try and discredit this straight away. Oh, they won this because of Giannis. No. They didn't win this because of Giannis, because there was every chance the Atlanta Hawks were going to have one of the most impressive playoff wins in recent memory. That's what they were tracking to do. They were going to have one of the most impressive playoff wins in recent history, to win this game with the injuries they've had. With people say, I saw people say, oh, so there's no playoff game on today. I guess not. I guess not, because it did end up being a blowout. Again, we're not going to talk too much about the Bucks. I think the Hawks deserve a lot of credit, because people aren't going to give them credit. It's going to be all about Giannis. And again, we don't need to say it any more times. Prayers up to Giannis. We hope he gets healthy. It'll be a more interesting series. It'll be a more entertaining series. And just in general, like I said, one of the most likable guys in the league. But in general, the Hawks played elite defense. They were incredibly active. Onyeka Okongwu came in again. And if you're not following me on Twitter, I've been saying Onyeka Okongwu is someone that you need to be playing more minutes. He is just so good. He's just so good. It's that simple. He's the Giannis stopper. I'm sorry, but he is unbelievable at defending Giannis. Unbelievable at defending Giannis. He's blocked him and got steals off him like multiple times in this series in limited minutes, and then he's showing some offensive game. Give it next year. I said it next year. Next year is going to be double-doubles regularly. Capella better watch out. I love Clint Capella. He's a really good player, but Onyeka Okongwu can't be on the bench for much longer. He just can't be. He's simply too good. So within next year or the year after, he is going to be playing serious minutes, and Capella might be on the way out. But let's not talk about that now. That is an off-season kind of thing to talk about. But Okongwu, unbelievable effort. And this isn't rare. This isn't something I saw some people saying, oh my god, no, this is what he's been doing. Even in the Knicks series, even in the Philadelphia series, Okongwu has been someone that has stepped up every single game. In the 5-10 minutes he plays, he looks so good on the court. He defended Embiid well, now he's defending Giannis well. That guy is going to be a star. Absolutely no doubts about that. And then talking about another young player who came off the bench and made a huge impact. Cam Reddish, 12 points in 23 minutes. Hit a couple of huge threes. Well, huge threes might be an overstatement because they were up by 20 at the time. But still, he made some big shots with people in his face. And also with the Bucks kind of coming back into that game. In the fourth quarter, the Bucks were on a little bit of a run. And then Reddish stepped up and hit a couple of shots, which sealed the game. So he made some big shots, but defensively, he was everywhere. This is what Reddish has always been as a defender, and he was everywhere. He was harassing Middleton, he was harassing Holiday, he was harassing anyone that he could harass. You get the point. Cam Reddish is an elite wing defender already, at least for his age. At the very least for his age, he's an elite wing defender, and he did elite wing defender things. That's what he was doing. So shout out to Cam Reddish, came off the bench, and that's a reason why Hawks fans and me myself as well have mentioned him every time people have talked about injuries, because he's a piece. He is a key piece. His shooting and his offense is still sporadic, for sure, but defensively, that is something that you like. And against Philadelphia, he would have been huge. They didn't even need him. They didn't even need him. Gallinari, as usual, he just deserves a shout-out for in general this series. He's been great. He makes big shots. I remember when the Bucks in the first quarter were coming back-to-back threes from Gallo, those big couple of deep threes just in the face of Brook Lopez or Giannis. I don't know who was in the face of, but splashed it. Gallinari has been huge all series long. Wasn't his best game, but still, big impact. And then the starters, Lou Will, Bogdanovic, and Kevin Huerter, all provided an impact. Lou Williams in particular, because you had it where Lou Williams kept them in the game. He kept the offense going to start the game. And then in that third quarter, when you needed someone to finish off the Bucks, it was Bogdanovic. He found his shooting stroke. He ends up with 7 of 19. He took 3 or 4 terrible shots at the end of the shot clock because they had to give him the ball. So the numbers don't really reflect it. Also, he threw up a half-court heave, which I talked about because, like, not many people would do that. Not many people that have been criticized for their shooting splits all series long. Not many people that have been struggling so much. You see how many times NBA players are like, nah, I'm not going to throw up a half-court heave. It's a minor thing. That's Bogdanovic for you. He doesn't care. He's going to throw it up. That's going to hurt his numbers. He's going to throw up 3 shots at the end of the shot clock that are not probably going in, but he's going to take them anyway because it's better than no shot at all. And that's what he did. And then defensively, 4 steals in the first half. He was active defensively. He was harassing Holiday. He was harassing Middleton. He played fantastic defense all game long. He even came over on a couple of double teams on Giannis. Bogdanovic's defense, and in general last game, he's played better. Last game, he shot 3 of 16. I counted it. He had 4 shots rim in and out. He still had a couple of shots rim in and out. So the ball's not exactly loving him right now. He could have had 25 points, 30 points, but regardless, he still ends up with a great night, and it's good to see him making some shots. 20 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 4 steals. That's a big Bogdanovic performance when it's needed, and that is just huge. Kevin Huerter as well, 15 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. He just pops up when you need him. He just pops up whenever you need him, whenever you need someone to bustle their way into the paint, hit that little floater, that little fadeaway. Obviously capable of hitting a 3, 1 of 7 on the night, but still, he's someone that whenever you need him, he seems to pop up in the right place at the right time. That's Kevin Huerter for you. And then Lou Williams. Like I was saying, Lou Williams set the tone. He was the guy that kept them in the game early. He was setting up Capella. How many assists? He ends up with 8 assists, only 1 turnover, 21 points. This is Lou Williams. Now, sometimes you don't get the best version of him, but this is why, heading into the game, I thought the Hawks still had a chance, because Lou Williams and Bogdanovic had been struggling, Lou had been struggling this series, but those are 2 guys, like we saw in the regular season, they are capable of winning you a game, even against high opposition, because they can both play like all-stars on any given night. It's about consistency and bringing that forward, because we don't know how healthy Trey's going to be, we don't know how healthy Giannis is going to be, there's a lot of question marks over the series going forward. But this is an incredibly impressive win, and I know people are going to completely throw it to the side. Oh my god, yeah, well, Giannis was injured. That's fine, you can do that if you want. You can continue to go on with this narrative that the Hawks are just lucky or that the other team consistently plays bad every single time. It's funny, because against the Knicks, the Knicks can't make a shot. The Knicks have no offense. Against Philadelphia, Philadelphia, Ben Simmons, Embiid, they're blowing leads. Oh my god, it's just lucky. And then against the Bucks, game 1, terrible coaching. Then this game, Giannis got injured and they didn't make shots. What about game 3 when they nearly won? Game 3 when they nearly won? Or in Philadelphia when they were competitive in quite a few of those games that they didn't win as well? What about that? So it's just, whenever the Hawks win, it's okay. It's just completely bad luck from the other team. It's not like whenever Milwaukee or Philadelphia have won, the Hawks have struggled shooting. Is that bad luck or is that good defense? You get what I'm trying to say? Because that's kind of annoying me. Again, I'm not a Hawks fan. I shouldn't be this invested. But seeing the amount of disrespect on this team regularly just makes me more invested every single time I watch, because I'm like, this is just crap. This is just crap. Like, honestly, the narrative surrounding this team, you would have thought by now people would give this team some respect. And yet again, just seeing the same old thing. So it's getting a little bit boring. But in general, shout out to the Hawks. If I'm the only one that's going to shout them out, shout out to them. Of course, none of us want Giannis to be injured. No one can dislike Giannis. If you dislike Giannis, you have problems, I'm afraid.